Hello, second grade friends, and welcome to today's reading lesson. So on Friday, we learned about how to create a club plan and how we can use that to help us accomplish the goals that we have set for ourselves as readers, right? So today, what I want to teach you is that club members can give each other feedback and yourselves feedback to help you meet those goals, and you'll kind of know what I mean more as we go through the lesson. And so one way that you can do this is by using an anchor chart to guide you. Now, we use a lot of anchor charts in a lot of our reading and writing lessons, right? So you can look to see what a club member or yourself is doing and what you or that person in your club may need help doing, right? So, for example, let's say my goal was making your reading more fluent, right? Like that was one of the goals that I had you guys pick to see if you wanted to make your reading more fluent. And so you joined that club. If you felt like your reading needed to become more fluent, you decided to be a part of that reading club, right? So making your reading more fluent, right? That's what our goal is going to be. Okay? And so, for example, if you are in the Making Your Reading More Fluent club, then these are some strategies that you might want to try and look for. And you might also want to maybe look for them if your partner is following those same strategies or in that same club. So these are going to be some kind of strategies that you want to look for in your reading and in their reading. So the first one is reread aloud and in your head. That is a great strategy that you can use to make your reading a little bit more fluent, right? So there's one strategy that you can use. The other strategy, scoop words into longer phrases, right? So scooping those words into longer phrases. If you remember a few days ago, there was kind of like I think it was for either reading or writing, but I was reading very robotically, right? Scoop those words into phrases. Say a few words for one phrase, then say a few words for the other phrase. Don't read word for word, right? So that's just another example. Okay, and then it also says here, I'll try and display it so that we both can see it, but check that it makes sense and sounds right. The words will sound smoother, and use punctuation. So remember, in that reading that I was reading very robotically, once I fixed it and became more fluent, I was also using those commas, right? So every time I saw a comma, I would take a break, and then I would read the next scoop of words and then a comma and take a break, right? So using that punctuation too. The next thing is talk like the characters. That can definitely help you become a more fluent reader as well. Okay, reading with expression, that also falls into the fluency part of reading. Okay, and then make your voice match the mood. So if it's a sad mood, maybe read that part with like a sad voice. If it's an exciting mood in the story, then maybe you want to read that with some excitement in your voice, right? So make your voice match the mood. And then the last two strategies for making your reading more fluent, right? Read with a just right pace. You don't want to go too fast and you don't want to go too slow, right? You want to read at just a right pace, okay? And then the last one is help each other. So I'm going to turn it this way so that I can see it too. But help each other. Give a compliment. We're actually going to be talking about this one a little bit more today. Okay, give a compliment. Your voice sounded just like the character. That's a compliment that you can give somebody. It's a compliment you can give to yourself. Hey, I was really reading that part of the story in the voice of the character, just like how the character would say it. Okay, give a tip. Next time, so you can say to somebody, next time, try this. Or you can even say it to yourself. Next time, I'm going to try making my voice sound like the character. Right? That's something that you can try for next time. Be specific. Try this strategy from the chart. So you can go back to some of the strategies that we learned from the anchor chart and kind of look at that anchor chart and go, okay, did I do this? Did I do this? Did I do this? Right? So be specific and then show how you do it. Watch me. So this would also be a really good one to use if you're working with a partner or if you're working with other people in your club. In your reading club, right? Show by example, right? Oh, you should read this like the character would say. Watch me, I'm going to do it. Okay? So giving people examples is also a really good way to to read more fluently and to use that strategy. Okay, so you just saw some strategies that, again, that was just one of the goals, right? We had 3 goals to pick from. That was just an example of one of them, making your reading more fluent, right? And so a conversation that you could possibly have with yourself, maybe with the person sitting next to you, another member in your club plan, right, is a good way to communicate that would be to say, if you're in this club, these are things that you should be looking for when your partners read and when you read as well. Okay, so again, if your goal is to make your reading more fluent, then look to see if you're doing some of those things. Are you reading with just right pace? Are you making your voice match the mood? Are you talking like the characters? Are you scooping words into longer phrases, right? Are you rereading aloud and in your head, right? So refer back to those anchor charts, and again, I'll post them back up again, so that way when you're reading today, you can actually do that too. And then lastly, we talked about having a conversation with another person in your club. It could even be having a conversation with yourself, right? And so you can say something like, I like how you scooped up the words into phrases. I think you can practice your just right pace. It sounded a little too fast. Why don't you try it again? Or even give them an example. Why don't you try reading this sentence like this? And then show them how to scoop the words. Those are all things that you can do to yourself. And if you're reading with a partner or if you're in a club, you can also ask those same questions and you can demonstrate those same strategies that we learned. Okay? So another big factor in working in goal clubs is to help each other, right? So let me go back to that one real quick. And we kind of talked about it, but again, helping each other, right? Giving a compliment, give a tip, show how to do it, be specific. These are all things that you can do to help another person make their reading more fluent, but also you can do this with yourself as well, you know? Give yourself some compliments. Notice what you did well. Notice what you might need to do next time, okay? And then maybe practice it, okay? How to do that. And then finally, be specific. Try this strategy from the chart. Again, refer back to those charts if you need to. That's why they're there. They're there to help you, okay? So that's kind of our reading lesson for today. So what I would like you to do is just when you go to independent reading today, just try that. Think about what your goal is. Think back to the anchor charts, and again, I'll post those back up again for you so that you can see them and use them as you're reading today. But just go back and think about the different strategies that you can use to help you meet that goal as you're reading today. Okay, so that's our reading lesson for today. Hopefully it's helpful when you go to independent reading, and good luck using those strategies, and I can't wait to see your reading logs and what you are reading for this week. All right, have a good one, guys. Bye.